I know a lot of you have asked me this question, why in the world do I hold so many multi-currency cards available out there? In today's video, I'm gonna address this because each of them have their own use case. So watch until the end. These cards are gonna help you when you travel. Let's go. I'm going to be comparing between 4 different companies' multi-currency cards: Trust Bank, YouTrip, Instagram, and also Wise. These 4 is the top 4 amongst the other multi-currency card companies available out there like BigPay and also Revolut. These 2 I'm not covering in this video because they are not the top 4. So when it comes to multi-currency cards, the purpose of it, number 1, is for the better exchange rate. You shouldn't be using a credit card when you travel overseas because they give you really bad exchange rate, and in addition to that, you'll be charged a dynamic currency conversion fee. Trust Bank and YouTrip came up to be the top 2 when I compared with BigPay and also Instagram. Their exchange rate beats these 2. Trust Bank is a Singapore bank. They're actually giving you 2% on a savings account that you have with them just by making 5 transactions on their Trust Bank debit or credit card. When you go overseas and you spend on this card, you'll be earning link points, of which you can use as rebates in Singapore when you go to NTUC. On top of accumulating link points whenever you are in Singapore, you can also accumulate link points when you travel overseas and spend on this card. One thing I really love about it is because they have their credit card function, you can use this like a normal credit card. So when you spend even overseas, you can just pay it only when your statement is due, and your statement due date is determined by you. You have the control of deciding which day of the month do you want to pay your statement. That is one thing I really love about this. They are a fast free savings account. You can keep your money with them and you'll earn 1.5% per annum. If you can charge 5 transactions on this card, you will make that interest rate to become 2%. If you are new to Trust Bank, you can sign up with this referral code right over here and you will get $35 in NTUC vouchers. On the same rank is YouTrip. YouTrip is what I talk a lot about on this channel. They are the first multi-currency card that I've held to date. And since they started out in 2016 or 2017, I've held this card to use for my travels, and their exchange rate has always been really great. One downside to this card after experiencing using Trust Bank's credit card for overseas travel is that it is a prepaid wallet. So if you want to spend using the YouTrip card, you do need to top up Singapore dollars before you can actually use the card overseas. A lot of people have asked me this question: if you do not see the country's currency in YouTrip app itself, then what do? You can just load up the Singapore dollar amount, and when you spend it, let's say in Korea, which is not a supported currency on their app where you can change the money in advance, you can just use the card with the Singapore dollar and it will auto convert. If you want to check the exchange rate real time, they do have a website where you can check as well. I'll link it down in the description box below. For YouTrip, if you're a new user, you can sign up with the link down in the description box below and you will get $5 after making your first top up. For exchange rate, is these 2 cards, Trust Bank and YouTrip. The next thing that I want to compare is ATM withdrawal. For all of you who have not signed up with Moomoo Singapore, they're giving you up to $208 just by creating an account with them. And in the first tier, all you need to do is just top up $100 and you'll be getting $2 every day for the next 10 days. In total, that is $20. And the next tier is you cumulatively reach $2,000 and perform 2 buy trades, you will get a Coca-Cola share worth around $80. If you have more money and you want to place into the account, into let's say a money market fund like the SGD Fullerton Cash Fund that is available on Moomoo Singapore, giving you a return of about 3.7% averaging over a 7-day period. You can deposit $10,000 and do 7 buy trades and you will get a guaranteed 108 cash coupon. So in total, you're getting up to $208. If you want to find out more about the SGD Fullerton Cash Fund, I've placed the relevant link down below for you to read and find out more about this fund as well. If you want to sign up with Moomoo Singapore, referral link will be down in the description box below. Let's get back into today's video. Let's say when you go to a certain country and you do not have enough cash anymore, but the places that you go to only accept cash, what do? You need to withdraw money overseas, right? And you shouldn't be using a bank's credit card or a debit card to withdraw money overseas again because of the bad rates and also the fees that they charge. So when it comes to ranking these cards for ATM withdrawals, number 1 comes in with Trust Bank again. Number 2 is YouTrip, and number 3 is Wise. The last one is Instagram. Trust Bank do not charge you any ATM withdrawal fee when you withdraw overseas with their debit or credit card. The only fee that you'll be charged with is, let's say you go to a country, their local bank will have an ATM withdrawal fee when you use a foreign card to withdraw. This is not charged by Trust Bank, it is charged by the local bank of the country that you're traveling to. If you're withdrawing with Trust Bank's credit card, you do need to take note that there is a fee, and this fee is the interest charged on the cash advance because you are withdrawing using a credit card. What I do when I travel overseas with Trust Bank and I withdrew it in South Korea, I do have a video I'll link up above and also down below. When I traveled to Korea and I withdraw using the Trust Bank's debit card. I use the debit card because there's no fee. There's only the ATM withdrawal fee from the Korea's bank. The amount withdrawn is drawn down from my savings account with Trust Bank. So this is why Trust Bank is number 1. Number 2 is YouTrip. YouTrip only charges you a $5 withdrawal fee each time you do the withdrawal. This is the fee charged by YouTrip, and when you go to the ATM, there could be a fee again. I do have a video of how I use it and withdraw money in Jeju. I'll link the video up above and down below. Number 3 comes in with Wise. Wise is giving you 2 free withdrawals up to $350 in Singapore dollars. Thereafter, if you do withdraw, they'll be charging you a $1.50 fee, and if you are withdrawing more than $350, they do charge you a 1.75% above the $350 amount. With Instagram, when you do a withdrawal overseas, they are charging you 2% on the withdrawn amount. So it really depends on how much you're withdrawing, but number 1 will always be Trust Bank, number 2 is YouTrip, number 3 is Wise, and the last one is Instagram. You must be thinking, why is Instagram here when they are ranking the last? They are really good if you do want to clock in miles or points with whatever card that you can link with Instagram Amaze. With Instagram Amaze, you can link a debit or a credit card as long as it's a MasterCard. You can link with Instagram Amaze and use the Instagram Amaze to travel overseas and spend on that card. You do have a bigger foreign currency spread at 1.5 to 2%, but you can earn miles and points whenever you travel and charge to this card. That is what people use the Instagram Amaze for. They usually pair the Citi Rewards card together with Instagram Amaze, where it converts your offline transactions to online transactions and you can earn 4 miles per dollar, and that is where Instagram comes in. Calvin Learns Investing on his channel, he did talk about Instagram Amaze, so I'll link his video up above and down below. That is a full review of Instagram Amaze, which you can refer to his video to find out more about it. Another thing I do want to compare, let's say you are in Singapore and you have a foreign currency transaction which you need to pay in foreign currency for. So one example was when I launched my website and hosted it on Squarespace, I needed to pay for a hosting fee which cost me $207.36 in Australia dollars. So I was figuring out which multi-currency card should I be using. I compared with Trust Bank, YouTrip and Instagram, and the number 1 choice is Instagram. Instagram gives you really great rates when you want to spend using their card for an overseas transaction online. If you're in Singapore and you have a spending in, let's say, USD, or you're paying for your school fees in a foreign currency, at that point in time when I was comparing, Instagram came to be the top. The purpose of actually holding all of these different multi-currency cards available out there is also because you can compare in different scenarios which will give you the better exchange rate. The last and final scenario where I want to compare and rank them is for when you do want to travel to a specific country and you want to lock in the rates as of right now. Let's say, take for example, at the start of this month, South Korean won was really great at 1,005 Korean won for 1 SGD. And with countries that you're traveling to often, like for me, I really love South Korea and I want to travel as often as I can to that country, I can actually lock in rates in advance with TransferWise, which is now known as Wise. Lock in the rates in advance where you can pay in SGD, lock in and change for South Korean won on the app itself. And when you travel overseas, all you need to do is to just use the Wise card over there and you'll be spending in the South Korean won that you have in your Wise account. The only platform that lets me change South Korean won in advance is with Wise. However, with YouTrip and Instagram, they also offer different currencies available on their platforms for you to change in advance. Let's just take for example, you really love Japan, and Japanese yen is something that you can lock in on these 3 platforms, YouTrip, Wise and also Instagram. On 12th of May, 10:32 PM, I was comparing the different rates available on these platforms. With YouTrip, it was 101 Japanese yen for 1 SGD. With Wise, it was 101.1 yen for 1 SGD. With Instagram, it was 101.0847 Japanese yen for 1 SGD. With these 3 platforms, it's relatively the same, so it's more like which platform you're more comfortable with to use. In conclusion, if you ask me which is the one card that I will always go back to for overseas travel, it will definitely be the Trust Bank's debit and credit card. The number 1 reason is because it works like a credit card. I don't have to pay anything up until the statement due. The amount that I've actually spent but have not paid for, it can still sit in my high interest savings account earned me 3%. So this is why I really love Trust Bank. They give you the option to use it like a credit card and still give you the best exchange rates available out there. And in addition to that, if you want more reason to why you should sign up with Trust Bank, they're actually giving you link point rebates when you spend overseas, of which you can use to offset at NTUC. They're giving you $35 in NTUC vouchers when you sign up as a new user to Trust Bank. So referral code over here, when you sign up, key in the referral code itself and you get $35 in NTUC vouchers. YouTrip is a card that I will use if, let's say, I forgot to bring my Trust Bank credit or debit card overseas with me. I can use the YouTrip as my alternative. Trust Bank and also YouTrip, I have dedicated playlists for these two that I talk a lot about on this channel. You can go and watch the other videos, of which I'll put it over here. That is all I have for today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it with someone else, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great week ahead. Bye bye.